Hello everyone, Rod here, your sales and ops specialist. I wanted to share with you a new tool I built, created, uh, and then show you how it actually works. So I called it Sherlock, and it's your very own private detective. So the main idea behind Sherlock is this. Create a GPT where you ask for extra information on anyone, and then it sends you an email with an actual research on that person and the company. Let's say you got an email from a random person regarding an offering, and you want to understand what's the business, and you don't want to reach out or reply to that email because it might be too invasive, but you do want to understand what they do. So you just talk to Sherlock, give him a name, an email, and then receive a PDF with all the information you need to know, identifying the subject, identifying the business, seeing opportunities, even with templates on how to reach out. Or let's say you actually doing an outbound campaign and you have a very good idea on which audience or which industry you want to target. Then you come to Sherlock and you try to find more information on specific founders of companies that you're interested in. So, how does it work? This is the workflow on how Sherlock works. I never actually share this kind of information, but I think it's very useful for everyone to understand how I built Sherlock and how I do build all of these automations that use AI and marketing tools. All right, so I created a custom GPT. I called it Sherlock, and then I used the API from OpenAI to connect that to a B2B database software. There are plenty of B2B softwares out there as Store Leads, Apollo, Clear something, and there are probably at least 100 tools you can use. I found one that has an API, and then I got access to 270 million people globally, which is a lot. Then I used a webhook from this software to connect all of this database to a fine-tuned LLM that I created. I fine-tuned, did not create it. This is actually Claude from Anthropic. And then I used that one to identify the business and the person and understand the business and what they do and what is the position of that person in that company. Then I used good old GPT-4o from OpenAI to write a business analysis. I started doing it with a different AI model, but I think as per today, OpenAI GPT-4o has given me the best results. Then, using an automation software, I actually connected OpenAI GPT-4 to a generative PDF builder, if you want to call it like that. So everything that comes from the OpenAI module, if you want to call it, it's gonna create a PDF that contains all of the information pieces from the B2B data software up to this point. And then it sends me an email. That can be an email, could be a Slack message, could be a text on my phone, could be anything that contains a PDF or an attached file for that matter. So this is how it actually looks like and behaves. So that's a screencast video from my phone while using Sherlock. I could obviously come to the mic and use that, but I think it's better to do it this way for this testing so I can talk on top of this. Obviously, there's going to be a blur section here because I'm using someone's email to test this. So I say, hello, how are you today? Then I would type that person's email and say like, give me a research on x@x.com. So what happens now is that it connects through the API with that B2B database and starts the sequence. So that's all that Sherlock needs to do. Then in the background, actually everything else is happening as per now. If you check, it's 10:52 p.m. right in the corner, and I got the email at 10:53. Well, 10:52 technically. So it took less than a minute for this tool to actually create this generative report. That's how I'm calling it. And it has, I'm blurring the email, but it has the subject right here with the LinkedIn. So you can go and check out their LinkedIn. It has the business as well, the name, phone number, website, city, the state. Sometimes cannot find it, something to fix, country, company, LinkedIn, and a Facebook page. If this company would happen to have X or Twitter or Instagram, it would be added here. Then very interesting. The model created a company business. Don't worry about this. It's me just trying to unselect that text. It took me like half an hour. So you have here a company business model. It's letting me know how this company makes money, what do they do, an overall overview of it, and then a business fit analysis, which is something very interesting because I'm going to pause the video here to show you something. So what's going on here is that on top of the business model, it's going to identify what I do, in this case, me, Rod. It knows that I work as a CRM manager, that I work in marketing, automation, that I do a lot of stuff with AI. So what it did here is to assess this person's company, and let me know which services I could actually offer to that company. So a very outbound approach to this report. It can be changed, it can be edited, whatever you need, it can actually be built. But in this case, it's letting me know that I can offer HubSpot CRM services and tells me why. It talks about the student inquiries and streamline their recruitment process. Then it lets me know about how I can provide marketing automation services for them or customer insights and analytics. So imagine that you grab someone's email and actually within a minute, before you start searching online what they do, you get an email with all of this information right in your inbox for you to read and assess. This is the power of this tool. So then I have this increased conversion rate probability where I have a LinkedIn message. So what happens here is this tool would understand what I do, what I offer, and write in my behalf a message to reach out. And that is how it actually works. It's pretty intuitive, it's fast as well. And then some of the limitations that I found so far. Access to 270 million people, yes, it's a lot. It's more than a quarter of a billion people I reach out. I could potentially reach out or find. But if we take into consideration that LinkedIn has 1 billion accounts, 27% is something I think I could improve. And then if you use more than one B2B database or you find more publicly available information, you can probably get to half a billion with no issues. Then the second limitation that I think it's important to solve is that it uses email as an ID. So if you don't have an email, you cannot actually, or you're going to struggle. It could, but it's going to struggle finding that person because let's say you're trying to find Rod Gutierrez, myself. How many Rod Gutierrez are there, and in how many companies have hired a Rod Gutierrez? So as per today, it uses an email as an ID, but then I want to improve that. So if you give an industry and a name, it can also find that person. But that is Sherlock. That's how it works. If you want to find more tutorials or to learn how I build these things, go to rodgutierrez.co. You're going to be able to find a lot more fun things to play, watch, and learn. But for now, let me know what you think about this tool. Let me know how would you use it and what can be improved. That helps me a lot, actually. So happy Friday, everyone. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.